Craig Adams here from Wedding Film School, and today I'm going over all of the gear that I bring when I second shoot a wedding. I shoot a lot here in Brooklyn, New York City, Westchester, and a lot of times I can take a train or a subway there, so it's important to stay light. So I bring exactly what I need, and it turns out I just have these two bags. This camera lens bag here, backpack, and then I have this support bag, which is a roller. It's a little bigger, but literally I have everything I need. So let's just go through what's in there. So starting with the support bag, this is a Tembra. I bought this recently and I just absolutely love it. It just keeps everything so organized, and like I used to have like this big duffel bag that I'd have to carry on my shoulders. So this saves my back because it rolls. I can stand it up on the subway or wherever I'm waiting, and it's so easy. So right on top, I've got this little VidPro bag. And of course, all the links for everything that I talk about and the prices are in the description below. So make sure you check that out if you have any questions about what I'm actually talking about. So, you know, I keep my glide cam in 3 parts. It's a glide cam HD 4000. And I don't necessarily need this for every wedding, but I kind of like to specialize in this. If I'm third shooting, I'll usually be doing this a lot, and even first shooting. It's when you're second shooting is when you're doing a lot of tripod and monopod work. But I love glide cam, it's super fun. And then the side pocket over here, just in case I need them, you know, I'll keep the extra weights. And one thing that I do is I actually take out one of the screws, because there's 2 screws on each side. You don't need one of them on each side, so I just take those out just to make things easier. So that's that. I also have, of course, my tripod. This is a Manfrotto. It's aluminum, and you know, the carbon fiber version would be lighter, which would be nice, but I almost like the weight of it for some reason. I feel like it makes it steadier and just more stable. So I like this one because it has the middle section that can go up and down, and it also has this little adjustable dial here, so I can set the leveling of the actual ball head separate, because some don't do that and you have to level by like raising these like in little bits. So I feel like this is quick and easy. This ball head is a little big, but I feel like it's super smooth, and for your main tripod shots you definitely want to have the ability to set the panning, the fluid drag amount, you know. So I love, you know, this is my go-to set for tripoding, and I feel good with this. So as far as a monopod, I feel like this is just, you know, the holy grail of monopods by Manfrotto. You don't have to have a fancy, you can have this cheap 701 HDV. I think they discontinued these, but I'm still using it, still going strong. Always have this locked down because in all honesty, all my movement comes from this bottom part right here. And that's like fluid, I guess it's like a fluid drag, yeah. And these little legs come down and just sits right on the ground, and then you have that little ball head down there. So it's a lot different than if you just had like, you know, a normal tripod bottom, you know, because this is way smoother and you're not actually moving the tripod, you're just moving this little ball. So it keeps it smooth. I use WD-40 down there to keep it smooth. Some people keep it very like clicky, and I don't know, like so that the tripod can actually stay like that. I don't really find the use in that, so I keep mine very smooth. And the build quality for Manfrotto is quite good. Sometimes you have to tighten these because they can get loose, but that's a quick fix. Other than that, just because I had this like freak accident, I actually bent one of these prongs in here, but it's nothing that like some pliers could fix. So I fixed that really quick. And when you're using this, if you feel like, you know, you're losing that smoothness in the ball head, you can actually take it, run it underwater. I learned that from Joe Simon. It's a very quick, you know, fix that you can do in the bathroom of the reception hall if you're not getting the smoothest action from the bottom of this monopod. And lastly, I have this Edelkrone slider in its nice little case, just to try to keep the dust out of it and keep it protected. So the case is like a little hard case, but it's still cloth. It's nice. So I keep a base plate on the bottom, all Manfrotto, everything. It helps to keep it one, you know, thing. But I love this. I did a review of this slider. It's a wonderful little thing. It's so small. It's perfect size for weddings, very smooth. But of course you have to have a ball head. So the only preparation I need for it is to throw this other Manfrotto ball head on top. It's not fluid drag control like the other, and I did that because I just didn't want too big of a ball head. You know, this is the perfect size and the perfect amount so that I can do moves like this as I'm sliding. So, you know, it works perfectly, and all you have to do is just spin it off when you're done using it, put that back, and then put this back in its case. So that's everything in my support bag. So this is my in-case backpack, and it looks just like a normal backpack. I just love the design of it. It's very simple. So I'll start on the outside. So I have just this little sleeve. I always put my Kindle here. So you never know on a train ride or if you have to go do something. And I just like having my Kindle here. I can always read whenever I have time down if I ever have it. Because I've been stranded some places and had to sit and chill. On this top pocket, you know, I just keep my small things that I need. Sunglasses in case I need them. I'll keep my wallet. This chapstick is so important. It seems like a stupid thing, but like, you definitely need it if you need it. I've got headphones in case I need to listen to music to kill time or monitor audio. Gum, stupid, but important. This is almost very valuable in the morning when people have bad breath or after you eat, especially when you're talking to clients and like other shooters. It's just important to have, and then a pen if you need it. So those things are in the top pocket, very small things. And then this is where my laptop would go, but I have a couple little things. It's good to just keep, you know, at least one thing of granola bars or some kind of snack, Cheez-Its, whatever. Definitely want to keep a bottle of water just because on any time down you should be drinking, because people get dehydrated very easily when they're shooting a wedding and you don't want to have to take time to go find water or buy it somewhere. This little 3-plug adapter is good if you need to plug anything in, and it also has 2 USBs, which is helpful for charging iPhones or whatever needs that. Also, I have, of course, an iPhone cable, just because I have an iPhone, so I need that if I need to charge, which I almost always do at the reception. And then I have this card reader in case I need to back up any footage from SD or CF cards or micro SD, or if the person that I'm shooting for I need to transfer my cards footage to them. You know, I can do that easily to their computer in case, you know, because I've had situations where they have a laptop that doesn't have an SD card reader for some reason, so I just bring this to always be sure that I can transfer my footage if I need to. Okay, so this bag is a little different. So like, you actually have to flip it over, which I kind of like, to access this back section. It's very padded, it's very nice. So there's 3 compartments here, but then I have my main section for all my camera gear. And you can access the camera from this little pocket up here if I need to, but I think that's more of like a photo thing. Just in case you need to like whip out your camera real quick because you see like a hippopotamus or something, I don't know. Yeah, this is my main compartment for my camera bag. The main thing that I want to keep protected is my camera, and just to save space and caps, you know, I try to keep a lens on my camera. I keep this 70-200 on my 6D. And then you know, you can put this little thing on top, so just to save space, it just makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Always make sure to have a camera battery in here just to save space a little bit. Kind of, you know, it just makes sense. As far as efficiency, I always have this little think tank bag. You don't need a bag, but I kind of like just having 8 AA's ready to go. I've got my rechargeable and loops, but then I also have some standard batteries that I throw out after use. But I've got like a couple dozen end loop rechargeables, so I just cycle through those. I keep it in this bag even though I don't need to, just to keep it, you know, nice and tidy. I've got the base plate adapter for my camera DSLR, but then also the eye shoe for this Zacuto Z Finder. So if I know I'm gonna be shooting outside and it's bright and I'll be out there for a while, I'll throw this onto the bottom of my DSLR so that I can see. Yeah, but I don't always use that, so I just keep that in that bag there. I've got this little black bag, little zip. I don't know where I got this bag, but it's able to house 8 of these Canon LP batteries. I have 9 batteries in total, but I don't usually bring all of them. You know, usually I'm recharging them or someone's borrowing them or something, but I'll usually try to keep as many as I can, which is like 7 or 8 in this bag, ready to go, charged. I always keep them charged if I have them in that bag. Anything that's not fully charged battery wise, I just throw them somewhere so that I know the difference. This is another battery. I usually use this to power my Tascam or anything that needs USB power, but I can plug it in. I've got 2 ports for the USB and then just power it on. And this lasts me forever. I can get like at least 6 fully charged iPhone charges out of this portable battery. It's a little heavy, a little expensive, but it's rechargeable and it's very convenient. So I have that. Of course, if I've got one camera, which I usually do for second shooting, I'll just have one video Rode mic. I've got a couple of these, but you know, just for this kind of situation, I'm just gonna bring this one. I've got a 9-volt rechargeable already in there, good to go. Always make sure I got a fresh one for new shoots. The other camera lens that I'll bring, my other main workhorse, especially for, you know, standard coverage, is this 24-105 f4L. It's got IS, it's smooth, it's very versatile. I can use it in any situation. Very good lens for that. I've got this Macro 100. This is the one lens that I could probably leave behind if I need to. My firsts usually have some kind of macro if we're doing a ring shot, because that's what I would use this for. It's got IS, it's macro, it's very sharp, it's an L glass, but totally unneeded if I've got my 70-200. I also have this 50 mil 1.4. It would be nice to have the 1.2 edition, but this is just in case I need a very shallow depth of field. I'll probably be on my 24-105 for most of the day, but if someone wants the very shallow depth of, you know, this look, I can get that with this lens, and 50 is like the one focal length that kind of works for most things. So I have that as a backup, and I typically don't use it that often. I've got one Canon LP battery charger in case I need it, but I usually have more than enough batteries to go by. So that's what's in my main compartment here. In this first side compartment, I've got this little think tank card wallet, which has all of my SD, micro SD, CF cards. Of course, if I'm second shooting a wedding, I typically will be given cards to use in my camera. Make sure you reformat it, and then I just give those back at the end of the day. It's much easier, and that's what most people should do if they're having other people come and shoot their wedding. In this middle compartment, I've got, should be 3 items. So 2 base plates. I just keep the base plates off my camera because like I'll put this on the bottom of my DSLR and then I'll put this on the 70-200 just because it needs it. Having 2 is good. Sometimes I'll have a 3rd in case I need it. And then I have this little tool, and I mainly use it for the knife, but I mainly use it just as a screwdriver, and it's very small, compact. I usually keep this in my pocket as I'm shooting. I can't tell you how many times brides have asked me for a knife. Don't do that. It's like super creepy if you do that during the day though. You look like a weirdo. A knife to cut off the like something on the dress. There's always like this little string thing that they want. I think it's like to hang it or something, but that's enough with me wielding a knife. So I'll put that away. And then lastly, on this top compartment, I've got a bunch of little things. I've got the caps from the extra lens and the camera body that are attached just in case I need them. I've got this little tripod in case I want to put my camera down low or something. I use that every so often, especially during the ceremony, like at my feet. If I'm shooting the bride coming towards me down the aisle, I'll have a second camera, you know, if I need that. But typically second shooting, I won't have to be in charge of that. If I need it, I've got this little flashlight, pen light, but typically in most situations, honestly, I just use my iPhone. You know, I use that most of the time. And then I've got this little ditty bag that I hardly ever go into, but you know, every so often I will. I've got like these little weird things here. Let's see, I'll just spill it out. I've got a dirty cloth and a clean cloth. So the clean cloth is, you know, in here, and I'll use this in the case of emergency. You really should never do it, but if I have to clean the sensor or anything very delicate I want to keep clean. This is just for cleaning whatever, you know. I don't want to scratch up my lenses, but I'll typically use this just to clean the outside of the glass if I need to. I also have this lens pen for cleaning, so I can take this end off to clean a little specks and parts if I need to, and then I got this brush to brush it off. So that's kind of very useful to put in your pocket. I've got this Manfrotto key if I need to tighten the Manfrotto parts like I mentioned before. I've got these little tiny zip ties. You never know if you need them. I've got 2 extra rechargeable 9 volts for the Rode VideoMic Pros. I've got a rubber band. I don't know. Maybe I need it. A bongo tie, which kind of does the same thing. A square of Velcro, both sides, in case I need to Velcro anything. This is like the best, quickest way to put like a light or something up on a wall, you know, instead of screwing it in or damaging anything. And then a little thing of black electrical tape. This is like to hide things or to tape like a mic together, or, you know, there can be little situations where you need tape. So yeah. I think that should be it. The last thing that I have in my bag, of course, just because I want to show you everything, you know, of course I'll keep my keys for my apartment and whatnot in the side pocket. But other than that, honestly, that's everything I would bring to a second shoot a wedding. So let me know if you do anything different. Of course, there is no right or wrong, there's just different, and I'm sure that in a year this is going to be completely different, but I want to know what you think. What do you bring that's different? I'm saying different a lot, but leave a comment below, let me know. But until then, thank you for watching. See ya.